Alright, quick update on Elon. So, we've been trading sideways for the past week or so. It's been pretty boring price action, but I do think a big move is going to be coming soon. Now, at this moment in time, we are currently converging and sitting in a bear flag, and I don't like how we've just been getting battered against this 13 EMA. The 13 EMA is one of the most short-term moving averages that define whether we're bullish or bearish, and the fact that we just keep on running into this and getting battered against it is not really a good sign. You can see what happened the last time we had a major flip of the 13 EMA other than when we were going sideways. This indicator is pretty much useless when you're going sideways, so you can see when we were just trending sideways in this pattern, it was just going bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish. But when you've got these big moves up, when you've got an uptrend, downtrend, downtrend, it's very, very useful to define whereabouts we are in the markets. And right now, you know, I don't need to tell you, we're below the EMA ribbons, we're below all our levels of support. Elon is not looking too bright right now. 4-hourly time frame, volume has been relatively flat. In fact, it's actually been diminishing over time, showing that we're obviously in a pattern right now and we're getting ready for this next big move. Looking at the 4-hourly momentum indicator of choice, we're going to be looking at the squeeze bomb. We are converging to the downside already, so we're running out of momentum. Bears are picking up that momentum for their own, and daily time frame, it's been pretty stagnant, so I could imagine in the next couple of days we are going to see another flip. Now, I don't think we're going to be entering like a big bullish phase. I think more likely we're probably going to lollygag for the next few days until Bitcoin decides what it wants to do, and then we're probably going to have a move to the downside. Looking at this in the macro term, we are below all of our levels of support now that we did need to hold. So these two 786 fibs are what we needed to hold, and we've got two of them because you can either draw it from the candle wick up here, or if you draw it to the candle body close, you get a slightly different 786. We've drawn both of them just to be extra conservative and give Elon a little bit of extra leg room if we did come back down to these wicks. But unfortunately, I mean, we've bear flagged down below these 786 fibs. The time to have a move, if we are going to be moving to the upside, needs to be very, very soon. If we look at the market cap for Elon, you can see it's currently sitting just below about 250 million. And unfortunately, there is not an Elon BTC pair over on TradingView. But if we do go over to CoinMarketCap, if we remove the USD valuation, we can see this is how Elon has been performing against Bitcoin in the past year. And what you'll notice is, yes, we had this big run up when we were still in the bull market and when we were bullish for Dogecoins and meme coins and all that good stuff. But since then, Elon has not been performing too well against Bitcoin, and there's a few different ways you can look at this. I mean, year to date as well is a lot more brutal, because if we're just looking at the past year, you can see we did have a big spike, but year to date we're still massively moving down against both Bitcoin and the US dollar. In terms of all time, very interestingly, we basically spiked back. We didn't have a new all-time high against Bitcoin, which is definitely something interesting to note. I don't think this is always going to be the case for Elon. I do think at some point in time Elon is going to massively outperform Bitcoin, and I still do hold all of my Elon. I haven't covered it in the past week or so because it's been so boring. I mean, look at this. What have we been doing for the past 23 days? I mean, from where we are here, we are the exact same price as we were 21 days ago when we were right here. Actually, it's 22 days. We need to draw it back from here. So 22 days, 3 weeks now, over 3 weeks. We've been the same price for Elon. So it's been very boring, but now I think we are going to be getting ready for that next major move. Like I said, bears are trying to snatch what little momentum that the bulls have left. And whether you're talking about how Elon is doing against the US dollar or Bitcoin, it's not looking too well, in my opinion. Looking at the BTC pair, it's kind of hard to chart this, but I do think we are probably going to be moving lower. And it's a shame that I can't, because this is against 450. This is the USD pair. I literally can't chart this against Bitcoin, so I'll have to look into that at some point soon. Hopefully there is a website out there where you can chart some of these other altcoins against Bitcoin, but until then we'll just have to look at CoinMarketCap. So USD and BTC, Elon is unfortunately moving down to lower prices. Where is it likely to come down to next? Because unfortunately there is such a big gap in volume traded. I mean, look at this. From the previous high here, we came up to here, and, you know, we spent 2 days, and we were within this region. I mean, sure, if you want to consider, like, at most, the most you can say is from this accumulation range, we spent 22 days, but really, if we are talking about the accumulation range, it should be from this high down to here, so we should be talking about this range, and really, between this price level and the 786s, we didn't spend more than 10 days worth of data traded. So there's not a lot of levels that are going to be holding us up. I think we need to look at these wick levels as probably the next likely target for Elon to break down to. If we do break down, I mean, this isn't even that bad. It could be about another 33% drop against the US dollar. Now, we really need to start holding this level, because if we don't, you know, there's only so many other levels that we have down here, considering there's not a plethora of volume traded. Let me mark these as green because I have the orange lines. They're orange because they're Fibonacci's. It just helps me distinguish between resistance lines, support lines, which are green, and these should be purple, to be honest, because it's in a pattern, and then I do my Fibonacci's orange. It just kind of helps me understand where the price levels are without me being zoomed out all the time and checking that these are fibs. So the next level down would be a 33% drop. The next level down after that would be a 51% drop, and the next level down below that would be another 64% drop. Now, I don't think we are going to move down this bearish side. Bear in mind, I am just giving you the price targets. Don't shoot the messenger, I'm just letting you know what we could be expecting. I personally think that we should be taking it one step at a time. At this moment in time, we're getting battered against the 13 EMA and the bull market, or the EMA ribbons rather, and we've only just recently had, I mean, put this into perspective, let's jump over to the weekly time frame. We only recently, in the past month, broke out of a huge pattern. I mean, this was a 119-day pattern. We were in this for ages, so 17 weeks worth of data traded. We literally only broke out about 3 or 4 weeks ago, so I do expect another move to the downside. I think this is kind of just the sideways chop before we do have that move down. On the weekly time frame, looks like we're running out of momentum. Hopping over to the daily, I imagine if we switch over to Heikonashi's, we never really stopped being bearish in the first place. So lower price targets, unfortunately, is what I expect. I imagine that we're going to come down to approximately the 300 level on the Elon price. I'm not going to mention all the zeros before then, because I'd be sitting here like a robot, like 0000. But yeah, this is where I think we're coming down to. 34% drop against the US dollar. That is all I've got. Just to wrap things up, if you are new to my channel and you haven't been watching my videos, for the past couple of weeks, for the past month, I've been pretty bearish on altcoins. I've been telling you, I think altcoins are going to get wrecked against Bitcoin, and this is what we're seeing. All of these Bitcoin pairs, how these altcoins are performing against Bitcoin, they're all going down. And looking at the Bitcoin dominance is breaking up. So while I am a big fan of Elon in the long term, I do hold all of my Elon. I never sold any of my Elon, really, from when we were up here. I actually sold a tiny bit of it on crypto.com, but that was just because I wanted to get everything out of crypto.com because I don't use them anymore. But nonetheless, I pretty much hold all of my Elon, which I don't plan on selling until much higher prices. It still takes up a decent amount of my portfolio, but while the Bitcoin dominance is moving up, I do not expect Elon to outperform the US dollar or Bitcoin. It is just how it is. The Bitcoin dominance is moving up. Like, let's just look at this on the weekly time frame. We're having a huge break, and I do expect this to keep on moving up. While the Bitcoin dominance moves up, it is going to be a sign that Bitcoin is outperforming altcoins. So during this period, while Bitcoin is chopping around within these ranges, I think it's very important that we accumulate Bitcoin and kind of forget about the altcoins until all is said and done, and we can expect a trend reversal. At this moment in time, I don't expect the trend reversal. If you are looking for a tiny bit of hopium over on Elon, the moon line is round about 531, which is still a significant amount of of resistance above our head. We would need to break above about 17%. So keep your eyes on those levels. If we do break above 531, that would be very, very bullish. We'd be above the 13 EMA. We would have broken bullish out of this bear flag, and we would be converging once again into the EMA ribbons. That is what I want to see, but unfortunately, I think it's more likely that we see a move to the downside, down to this 300 region against the US dollar. That's all I've got. Hope you found some value in this video. As always, not financial advice. Cowboy out. Peace.